So we are live. Welcome everybody to the 52nd edition of Vision du Réel International Film Festival. We are live from Nyon, Switzerland. This is the first day of the festival. I would like to welcome Jannis Lenz. Welcome.
Oh, hi.
Jannis is the director of the film Soldat Ahmet that is available from now and for the next 72 hours. The film is presented in our Burning Light competition and is in world premiere. So thank you very much, first of all, for sharing with us and with our public the film.
Yeah, thank you for the invitation. We're very happy.
Could you please tell us a little bit the genesis of the project and how you get to know your main character?
Yeah. I got to know Ahmed in 2014 when I was shooting a short film and I was searching for a boxer. And so I casted him in a boxing studio and there was a good connection between us. So we stayed in contact and I also had him in another short film as an amateur actor. And I totally forgot that he also works in the Federal Army in Austria. And there was one situation when he visited us at our place, and he came from work and he came in his uniform. And it was such a strange moment to see him in this uniform because the way I got to know him was like this acting connection, and he was such an open and funny person. So this was very, very difficult for me to bring these things together. And so I thought, okay, he is a boxer, he is in the Federal Army, and also because it's a kind of special situation because of his Turkish roots and he's in the Austrian Army as a Muslim. And then he has this passion for acting, which he didn't follow that much, but I felt that there was a strong passion for this. And yeah, I thought a lot about this. And so I said, why not make a portrait about him?
Thank you. And so you were saying that it was a shock for you to discover him as a soldier in a way, because you knew it in a different context. But how was for you to approach him during his work as a soldier and to shoot him in such a official context?
Yeah, so it was strange because I think I had known that he worked in the army because we knew each other for 5 years back then. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of, I just didn't think about this. And then there's another thing that he works as a paramedic. So he isn't like the one who shoots, he's the one who helps the persons who get shot. So this is also like, I think, another situation. But it was very interesting to get to know him in the barracks. Also because it was the first time for me to enter barracks. I didn't do army service, and so it was kind of a strange feeling to be there because yeah, it's only people in uniforms. It's strange for the first time, I think. But then I had to say it was if you get used to it. You also start to see the people behind the uniforms. And that was a very interesting process for me also. And I think for the people who work there, it's like that. I think there comes a certain point where you maybe forget the uniforms, you just work with people again. And that was kind of interesting for me also because it wasn't like as hard and tough as I imagined it to be. So most of the people were very friendly. It was like very surprising. So we had coffee with them, and it was, yeah.
And on the other way, when you were filming the family, it was for me. It's very astonishing to see how the camera is practically close, but at the same time with the right distance, yeah, in very intimate situation. And how was it for you to in a way invade this space?
I think it was kind of an intuitive process. So I worked with Jakob Fuhr, who was the DOP of this project, already in 3 other projects, and also 2 projects in which Ahmed was involved. So it was kind of, we knew each other, and it was kind of an intimate situation where we didn't have to think that much about how we want to shoot this. And that was kind of important because most of the times we wouldn't have the time like to think about if you want to go more like this or more like that. So we didn't have time to discuss things. It was more like Jakob knows what's important for me in the pictures, and also they know each other. So it all was like a very organic process, I would say.
I remember our audience that they can write us questions, like under the video, they can write us question. So don't hesitate, even if we are distance. And there is a very there is a sensation that Ahmed, in a way, it's really like participating in the film as an actor, also when he's outside the theater. How was for you to work with him?
That was one of the aspects that was very interesting for me, because Ahmed knows a little bit about acting, and he also worked on sets as an amateur. And so it was very interesting because he also put ideas and gave us situations we could follow. And this was a very interesting process also, to feel when he's acting and to work with this, not to try to bring him in another direction, but to work with this when he's kind of acting in his real life. Because for me, that was also like what the film was about, because we all play our roles in our lives. And in his life, it's very special because when he's like in the army, he has to be the tough guy, and also in the boxing gym. And then in the acting courses, he suddenly has to open up and show his emotions. And then in the family, it's also a role. I think we all have this in our own lives, but in his situation, it is kind of very, very good to see for other people, because it's so strong. These differences are so strong because between these worlds.
Yes, it's very impressive to see how he changed himself according to the different to the different situation. And can you tell us a little bit about the music? Because the music, it's very unexpected, and it's like it really gives a tempo to the film and to certain scenes.
Yeah, I kind of felt from the very beginning that music could be an element that could bring these worlds together. And I worked on several projects before, or regular work like with dance projects, mostly for museums and exhibitions and stuff like that. And so that's something that's always very interesting for me. And I saw all these dancing elements in these different worlds. Like I saw it in the army very strong, like when they do their foot drills, and in the acting courses, of course, and also in boxing. Boxing is also like dancing. And so I felt this could be a way to like bring these worlds together, but also show the contrasts between them, because there is one level on which they all agree, but then they are very different at the same time. And that was it was great to experience that, and to follow this kind of way to create these situations.
Thank you. I think that the music is a very important element also in the editing of the film. And on the other side, I think that there is one topic that keeps coming back, and in a way it's sort of give the chapters of the film, that is Quest trying to cry from the beginning, and how those elements, and in general, how did you work on the editing?
So first, for the music, it's very, very important for me that the music comes out of the worlds that we move in. So it's all like our musician, Benedict Payet, he worked only with voice and with drums and percussions and stuff like this, because this is something you find in these worlds again. And for me, it was also like finding this inner voice, like, because it's getting stronger during the film, is also like Ahmed's process during the film, like, because through the voice and to express things, and also like with this aspect of crying, to get louder and not to keep it all inside. It was the crying thing evolved very early. It was Ahmet once told me that he hadn't cried for about I think 8 years or 9 years, and was really shocked. And then I found it very touching, because it's like a soldier and a boxer who always has to be hard. And I heard that it's a problem for him, because he said he tried it at home when he's feeling bad to feel better, but it just didn't work. And it was it was a very touching moment to hear this from him. So it's not like, oh, I don't want this, I'm such a tough guy. It just didn't manage to get there because of his emotions. And I think it was also a very good way to show how emotions are treated in these different worlds. How it is for him to deal with his emotions, maybe at home, or maybe in the acting courses, or also like in the army or in a boxing gym, where he has to be a tough warrior or fighter. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I see if there are questions. No, not yet. So what has been specifically, what has been the expectation of Ahmed through the film when you were the relationship with the family? I found like particularly interesting, because it's like if his character was accumulation of expectation from the external world. And you were discussing those like private aspects, or you were discussing these exactly what they were the expectation? Because in a sort, I think that you also had expectation from him as an actor.
It's difficult to say, because like it was really like a very organic process where we couldn't plan all the things, like the dinner with the family. Ahmed called me in the morning that we could shoot this evening with his family, and so we had to find a team for the same day, and then we just filmed what we got. So it was not that I was like following a plan to show his family in a certain way. I just felt that this is a very important aspect for it, and I think for Ahmed it was on the one side, he just likes to be in front of the camera. I think he really enjoys this. That's why I also like this kind of acting when he's not on stage and stuff like that. So he is very fascinated by film and the whole process of film. So he really enjoyed this. And it was also for us like a very good time to spend time together. So I cannot tell what he expected. Maybe there was something else, but not for me to feel, I think.
Well, thank you very much, Jannis.
Thank you
for being with us, for presenting the film. I would like to remind our audience once again that the film is available for other 72 hours, that, if I am not wrong, are 3 days. So through until Sunday. So thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
And see you hopefully soon with your next film here in Neon.
That would be awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great time. Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.